Okay, so just to be clear, this is for my AP Government final project, okay?
All right.
Okay. So today, this is going to be a little interview about identity. By the way, it
Mm-hmm.
started, okay? So, um, let's start. Tell me if you're uncomfortable answering any of the following questions. Okay, so let's start with race.
All right.
How do you identify?
Um, I say black.
You'd say black.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like African American is weird.
You don't identify as an African American, you identify as black. Is that what you're saying?
I mean, yeah, but like, I don't know. I would rather be called black versus African American.
Why do you say that?
Bro, I asked you to be serious for me, bro. Um, reason why I say that, I don't know. I just feel like I could have been labeled something else. Like, my original origin. I don't know what to call it. I'd just rather be called black than African American. Let's put it like that.
Yeah, a lot of people have problems with like being labeled as African American because it's really hard for black people in America to really find like African roots in the way that they're living now. So I can kind of see where you get that from. Okay,
Yeah.
sexual orientation.
Um, am I male or female? Yeah, straight. Oh, I knew it was one of the two. Yeah, I'm straight.
You're straight. Okay. Your religion, if you have a religion, you claim.
Um, not really. I just believe in do good unto others, you get good back. You know, basically just good karma, good and bad.
Okay. Do you think that has anything to do with your age? Do you think that if you were older, then you would identify more
Oh,
strongly with the
definitely. If
religion?
if I was older, like I would like be like um very into Christianity. But since like I'm in this generation and I'm just hearing the truth and like different things about this stuff is just like yeah I don't believe that no more.
So, are you saying that if you were born into a different generation, then that it would be easier for you to conform to Christianity almost?
Yeah, cause it's like back then it was pushed onto you, and if you won't like with it, then they was just like, I don't know, you can't be an atheist. So like, you gotta worship something. You have to believe in something. So yeah, back then it was way more strict than it is now. Like now, don't nobody care if you have religion or not.
Do you feel like when you get older, you'll be more religious, or you think you'll stay like this for the rest of your life, just a little suspicious?
Um, when I get older, I may want to look more into it, but right now, it's just like I feel like I'm gonna stick with this for the rest of my life. I may want to seek the truth later on, but I don't know nothing about that right now.
Okay, so now we're gonna bring Gabby into the interview.
All
Gabby,
right.
for listeners, Gabby is my sister. I just interviewed Gabby's boyfriend, Marlon. Okay, and I'm gonna ask you the same set of questions. Okay, Gabby?
Okay.
So, starting with race, what you identify as?
Two or more.
What two?
Black and Hispanic.
Black and Hispanic. Has it ever been hard for you as a mixed child? If there's no like two or more box for you to choose, like if there wasn't one, which one would you pick?
Other.
You would pick other? You feel like that's the best way to identify as?
Yep. If it's not there, it's not there.
But they're still African American and they're still Hispanic.
But not both together. And unless it's like select all that apply.
Do you think that that's a big part of your identity? Is that why you choose other?
Yeah. Equally.
Okay, so you wouldn't want to pick 100% one or 100% of the other because you feel like you would be almost misrepresented,
Yes.
represented. No, let me say that. Okay. So, are you able-bodied?
I am.
What's your sexual orientation?
I'm straight.
Religion?
I'm not really a religious person at all.
At all? Would you consider yourself an atheist? Is that something you would identify as?
Not necessarily. I mean, I have some thoughts and theories about a higher being, but there's still some holes in the stories that I feel like need to be answered and patched up.
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of, I don't want to say millennials because we're not millennials, but a lot of the younger generations are kind of like scared of the word atheist. Like Marlon, you didn't really identify as an atheist either, but you didn't pick a religion. Is that true? Are you guys?
It just sounds fun.
It don't sound right to you?
Yeah, it sounds like it's just like you don't believe in nothing. Like,
Gabby, would you agree with that?
Yeah, I feel like atheist is kind of like really narrow-minded, like tunnel vision almost.
Right.
So I wouldn't agree with calling myself an atheist.
yeah, like exactly what you're saying. Like it's like saying like you don't have an open mind. Like I have an open mind to like different things if it makes sense to me, but a lot of this stuff it just doesn't make sense. So yeah.
And what about you, Gabby? Do you feel like eventually you'll get older and start trying to answer those deeper spiritual questions, or you feel like you'll always be a little bit of a skeptic for the rest of your life?
Well, I feel like whenever I get older, I'd be more in a position to where I need guidance, maybe from like the Bible or a higher being, and I need some answers that need to be answered that are greater than myself. So I feel like I'd look for some of those answers.
Yeah, which is kind of ironic if you think about it, because right now you guys are both college students, and it's like you guys are making decisions that are going to impact you for the rest of your life. So it's like, is it the fear of death looming over you that makes you want to answer those questions, or is it truly and honestly because you're having a more difficult time and you need that guidance to answer those questions?
Yeah, it's a lot to think about. Definitely.
Yeah, I just feel like it's just too many